Welcome back, NYC Fragrance family. Yes, it's been a long time since I've made a video. Got a little background noise behind me. I don't know what's going on next door, but anyway. Those of you that know the channel know that I have a series called 3 Tiers of Fragrances. So instead of me doing 3 separate videos, top 10 or 10 lists for winter, I decided to do 3 tiers. But instead of giving you 1 fragrance from each tier, I'm going to give you 5. So, as I usually do it, your inexpensive ones first, your designers, and your niche. Here we go. First one I'm talking about today is from the brand of Louis Cardin, and it is Sacred. Sacred, you get a nice vanilla, chocolate, ambery, somewhat smoky, Middle Eastern vibe at a good price. If you search for it online, I'll leave a link where I could find it in the description. But this is definitely good quality stuff at a reasonable price. Perfect for the winter, lasts long. And I'm going to say most of these fragrances are going to pretty good performance because of the type of fragrances they are. And you'll see there are a lot of fragrances here and they're very similar in type and quality. The next one on the list from the house of Zara. Warm Black. If you guys are familiar with Warm Black, you'll know that this one is, they say, a take on Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. But I think it's got a little bit more to it than just the way Tobacco Vanille comes across. But it is a great, spicy vanilla tobacco fragrance. Again, very cheap. I think it's about $20 for a bottle of it. They change out their fragrances very quickly, Zara, so if you want to get on this one, I suggest you get on it quick because it probably won't be around for long. The next one on the list, still in the budget-friendly category, from the house of Lalique, comes Noir El Extreme. See if we get that. There we go. This one is the winter staple out of the 3 of these fragrances. It's a richer, deeper version of a strong, well-made, well-blended, very affordable vetiver fragrance. If you haven't smelled the line, if you're a fan of vetiver, you should check out the Noir line from Lalique. It's definitely for the vetiver fans at heart. Kind of similar to one I started with, although I find this one to be a little bit more rich, a little bit more oud, a little bit more dense, and it's from the house of Ragba, and it's Tafa. Sorry, from the house of Tafa, and it's Ragba. Again, it's been a while. I gotta get used to doing this again, huh? This one, again, has a slightly similarity to a Tuscan leatherish vibe, but I think it's a little sweeter and a little spicier. Definitely a totally Middle Eastern type fragrance if you're into those type of fragrances, and one that's readily affordable. You could even find it on Amazon if I'm not mistaken. The next one, a discovery of mine from this year. This brand was kind enough to share a lot of their fragrances with me. Probably not heard of by much. They are very popular in the Middle East. From the house of Junaid Parfums comes Dire. Just love this bottle with the ostrich feeling skin on the outside, the gold cap, and this here, again, a take on Tuscan leather, but to me it has a little bit of oud in it. It's just richer, it just lasts long, it's just a statement maker. And the price that this comes in at is a fantastic alternative to Tuscan leather if you're not in, the ability to buy Tuscan leather where it's over like $200 for a 50 ml. Here you get 100 ml for around $40. And this is, to me, really good juice. Lasts all day, smells great, and gets noticed for sure. So those were my 5 winter inexpensive fragrance suggestions for the winter. Now I'm going to move on to the designers. First designer, you heard about this one a lot, but this is just a fantastic fragrance. Probably one of the best, if not the best, from the brand. Azzaro, Wanted by Night. This fragrance is just phenomenal. It's sweet, it's dense, it's hard to get the cap off. It lasts quite a long time. It's definitely a compliment puller. Works great in the cold weather. If you're looking for something really good in the winter, Azzaro, Wanted by Night. The next one comes from a line and a collection that I have every single one of the fragrances in this line and in this collection. And this happens to be my favorite probably for the colder months. Maybe even my favorite from the line. And it is Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Intense. Now if you see here, I have the old bottle. This is the black bottle. They've changed the bottle now to where you have a clear bottle. So I guess you could see what's in your bottle. I mean, here I put a flashlight up to it. I'm able to see my levels, but it is what it is. Taking that almond, taking that cherry vibe, taking that L'Homme Ideal DNA, the original EDT and the EDP, and giving it just a little bit touch of more oomph. That's what makes this pleasurable for me. Plus I had the shower gel and I used that as well, and I really enjoy the way that smells when I take a shower. If you can get it as a kit, it's a good buy. And I think somewhere out there they still have them in kits. But still, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Intense, probably my favorite from the line. The next one, being that I'm a fan of the original, being that I'm a big fan of the now discontinued Intense version, I said, why not? Let me go check this out. And it surprised me, and I really do enjoy wearing this. And it is Boss Bottle Oud. For me, this is the Boss Bottle DNA with the added touch of oud. Somewhat a synthetic oud. It's not animalic. It's light. It's airy. It's, you know, gives it that little bit of intenseness in that extra woodiness and that rich wood of oud, along with the Boss Bottle DNA. I think it's a fantastic fragrance. It can be found at a reasonable price as well, but not as cheap in the $30 or $40 range unless you buy a small bottle like this one. This is the 50 ml. If you go for the 100 ml, it's somewhere in the $60 range. Still a great buy. If you're looking to get into oud, I definitely recommend this fragrance without a doubt. So the next one I want to talk about, I would have put one of the other flankers in here, but being that there's a lot of talk of discontinuation on that fragrance, this one was the alternative for me. That one is probably my favorite. This is probably my second favorite from the line. It is the grown-up, mature version of Paco Rabanne 1 million. It's the Parfum version. This is just a compliment puller. I mean, Paco Rabanne 1 million is a compliment puller. This one is more subtle, more elegant. It lasts pretty well throughout the day. I do respray after about 6 hours because I like smelling this on me all day. And it's not one that I mind smelling the entire day on me. So I do reapply because it lasts around 6 hours roughly. Just beautiful, toned down version of the original 1 million. And it's just got almost like this effervescent solar quality. That's why the logo has that solar thing on it, that it's supposed to give you this effect of being out in the sun. It's somewhat bright and somewhat light, but just elegant. I think it's probably the most gentlemanly version of 1 million in the line. My next recommendation is probably the biggest hit, or one of the biggest hits of 2020. I was just recently acquired it, but it is what it is. It's definitely a fragrance I probably should have gotten a lot earlier because it fits the type of fragrance profiles that I like. And it is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. You take You want to take on a gentleman's fragrance? This is definitely a gentleman's fragrance. There's no cumin listed in the note breakdown, but I do get this touch of cumin. There's definitely clove in it, or at least I get clove. I don't think I saw it in a note breakdown, but it's just got this spicy quality, this fougere underlying quality, a very good modern take on a fougere style fragrance. And again, wearing throughout the day, good 8 hours, smells great, got some compliments, even in the pandemic. You know, who knew? You know, when you get asked, what are you wearing? That's usually the first indicator that somebody's piqued their interest as to the fragrance that you're wearing for the day. Sometimes it could be in a negative manner. They could say what you're wearing and be like, I don't like that. And sometimes they'll be, well, what are you wearing? Because they want to know so they can go get it. Now that I finished the designer level, I'm going to finish it off with the niche tier. 5 more fragrances, niche. First one I'm going to talk about is Nishane Fan Your Flames. Fan Your Flames, my best description, smoky coconut. This again, it's not one of those fragrances that, for me, it's always with niche. Either you love them or you're not so sure about them. This is one that you gotta kind of either love or hate, and I love it. It's one of those that grows on you or doesn't. But I love the winter months wearing this fragrance. It just works well with the temperatures being low. It cuts through that very nicely. And Nishane fragrances definitely last throughout the day, maybe even 2 days sometimes. And they're well worth what they ask for in their prices. And you can find some of these Nishanes discounted. I know FragranceBuy.ca carries Nishane at pretty good prices. The next one is probably still my favorite tobacco niche fragrance. I know there's going to be controversy about this, that this one's better, that one's better. I just love this one. From the house of Plume Impression comes Rivalit Imperial. I just love the bottle on it. The weight of that bottle, the cap, the weight to it, the nice smell, that atomizer is great. That mixture of the tobacco and spices, it just works. You know, I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of tobacco fragrances out there that can be recommended. This one though, to me, it takes it for me. I just love this fragrance. The next one I discovered at Essence 2 years ago. Unfortunately, it's 2 years ago because of COVID. We missed out on Essence, and who knows if it's going to happen again this year. From the house of Aqua de Ferenza comes Homo Novus. This is a not much heard of house that I really enjoy this fragrance. I remember wearing it in Milan. It's just resinous, spicy, it's sweet, it's rich, it's kind of dark. It just lingers, and as you get the wafts of it, it's just something you'll never experience in a fragrance. I don't think I have a fragrance that smells like this or even comes close to it. And I think that's why it captivates me so much. When I know I'm wearing this, nobody else is. I just don't know anybody that ever talks about Aqua de Ferenza, except for maybe me. You know, I see posts here and there. And again, when I get back to Italy, and I hopefully will soon, I'm going to Florence and I'm going to go visit them. You know, there's more fragrances from the house that I want or I would like to add to the collection. But, you know, it's like this has a treasured space in my heart. Like, it's just something that means a lot to me. You know, it brings back a lot of memories of good times that I haven't had to have the past year. Aqua de Ferenza, Homo Novus. The next one is my favorite from this house, a house that probably took the fragrance community by storm at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020, and has been rolling all year with releases by many content creators under the name of the house. And from the house of Navatus Parfums comes Absolution. This one here is just a gourmand delight. Apple, spices, beautiful atomizer, lasts all day long. You know, I've heard the comparisons to Baccarat Rouge 540. There is a slight remnants to that when I wear it, or what I get from that fragrance. But in itself, it's something totally different. There's notes in this that Baccarat Rouge 540 don't have and doesn't have. Or at least that was a double. Don't and doesn't. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, this fragrance definitely has way more to it than Baccarat Rouge 540 does. As a matter of fact, I would rather wear this than Baccarat Rouge 540 if I had to pick between the two. As much as Baccarat Rouge 540 has its popularity and is a great fragrance, I still think this one is way better. It lasts long. You want to talk 10 plus hours easy, all day long. I put it on at 6 o'clock in the morning when I go to work, and I'm still smelling it when I'm coming home. Fantastic fragrance. Happy to have it in my collection, and I stand behind it. So the last one I have for you today probably should be of no surprise if you know the channel, if you know and seen any of my winter videos before. This one still, when it comes to winter, my favorite type of fragrance is an amber fragrance. And this one here, as far as I'm concerned, is the Amber King or Queen. Can be worn by both sexes. Is a fantastic fragrance. And I'd say a lot of these fragrances can be worn by both sexes. There are some that tend to lean masculine, but a lot of these niche ones especially, I think, could be worn by both sexes. From the House of Rania J, Amber Loop. I mean, listen, if it came down to this and Mas Milano's Tango, it's always a battle. For some reason, this slightly edges it out for me, and I think it has something to do with longevity. Also, possibly because when I wear this one, it seems to get noticed where sometimes Tango doesn't. And I don't know if it's the cumin note in Tango that throws people off, but this one here, people always ask what it is, and it's a fantastic fragrance. And these little bottles, I mean, 1 or 2 sprays is plenty. I just wasted a spray out of this little tiny 35 ml bottle. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. So those are my 15 winter fragrances in 3 tiers. You had your affordable ones, you had your designer ones, and you had your niche ones. It's nice to be back in front of the camera. It's been a while. Hope to continue to do a couple of videos here and there. You know, I'm not one of these bigger channels that is steamrolling and putting out a video every day, or 2 a day, or 3 a day. That's not going to be what goes on here. I'm going to keep the channel going whenever I have the desire to put out a video, whenever I feel like putting out a video, whenever I feel there's something I need to share, I will continue to put out a video. So, new viewers, thank you for stopping by. New subscribers, thank you for joining the NYC Fragrances family. And my NYC Fragrances family, thank you for being patient and supportive in my slight departure, my time off, my hiatus, so to speak. I will be around, and I'm still around. I love fragrances, and it's probably something that's not going to go away. So, as long as you support the channel, I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And until the next time, remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.